Sit back and kick it with us. We got charm, we got charisma. Vibes on vibes, personality fire. That's how we skate by, personality higher.
Hey, I'm Hailey.
And I'm Jessi.
And you're listening to Personality Hire,
the podcast where we want to encourage you to let your freak flag fly.
Let it fly. Let freedom ring, baby.
Let it fly high in the sky. Don't ever be scared. Don't ever be embarrassed.
Never.
Don't ever withhold who you truly are.
Be you.
But be
you.
Careful.
Yeah.
If you're like us, be you, but be careful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes some people can't handle the truth and nothing but the truth.
No, they can't. So your truth may be
too much for somebody else.
And by the way, too much. A lot of ladies hear that a lot, or maybe men.
I say never enough.
I know. I don't think there's enough.
I say never
enough. I want more, baby. Give it all to me.
Well, today Hailey and I decided that we are not deeply enough in love. No. And because we're trying to get just a little bit more, just fall deeper into intimacy with one another. Absolutely. Just become more intimately aware of each other. We're going to be doing 36 questions that can help you fall in love with anyone, according to experts. Whom are these experts, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. These experts are psychologist Aaron, and
wait, that's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Yeah. Also,
wow. I don't know if I trust Aaron.
Apparently, it's part of his scientific research into relationships in 1997. They conducted a study that explored whether two strangers could accelerate closeness and intimacy by asking a series of questions that became increasingly more personal and revealing. The goal is to fast track your date past the awkward alley straight into lasting love lane.
Oh my God. Well,
so,
Jess.
Dr. Arthur has put together these questions, and Hailey and I are going to see if we can just get a little bit
intimate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, the word intimacy and intimate,
I don't like it.
It does give me like a chill, like between my shoulders.
I don't like it.
Between my shoulders.
I don't have any reason not to. Like, I'm not against the word moist or anything like that. I don't have that kind of a vibe, but intimacy, I think just because I know that intimacy is also a euphemism for sex. Yeah. I just don't. I don't like it.
Well, it's giving mature vibes. Yeah.
Okay, I don't like that. You're right.
You know, like if someone's like, we want to further our intimacy. Like I'm
so
like,
we can mature our relationship.
Yes, I just want to gag.
But anyway, we actually also haven't read all of these questions,
so we don't know.
So
we
don't, and they could get freaky. And we're TBD.
And now
what
we
we'll
know
do.
that my dad listens, and my new
Groot.
stepmom, Kat Barnes.
Oh my God! Everybody, just when we get to a question, we might not answer it. Let's just see how we roll. All right, Hailey. Number 1, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
My date, Paul Mescal. At this point.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just because I want to go on a date with him.
Okay, that's the person. I guess we're saying anyone in the world means they're alive. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I would say alive.
Okay. Got it. So,
but
Paul.
honestly, this is just I'm saying that's fun. I obviously this is at the top of my head. I bet you there's someone I should probably go to dinner with before him. I bet you there's several people I should.
Okay.
I'm gonna choose. Goofy, so Paul, call me.
All right, Pauler. I'm going to choose. I think I might. Okay, let me give you the first answer that came to my head was my husband, because we don't go out to dinner right now in this stage of our life, so that would probably be nice.
That's very sweet.
If we got to do that, and I like him fine, he's fine. And then I think that if I could choose maybe like a famous type person, I would like to learn from. Like, I'd want to learn from someone.
Yeah.
So maybe I want to learn from someone who has a very well-developed business or a robust business, like a Sarah Blakely, something like that. I actually sat next to her and her husband at Umi one time in Atlanta, And the tables in Umi, if you have a two top, they're like really squished together. And my husband and I were eating, and she sat down right down next to us with her husband. And when I got up, I had to say to her, I had to like literally squish my booty past her. And I said, Miss Blakely, I think you're an inspiration. So scooby bop bop bop. And then I made it awkward. And then I said, oh, good thing I left my phone at the table by the time I get back to the door. So I had to send my husband back to the table to awkwardly get the phone and stare at Sarah Blakely in the eyes after she had just stared at my butt and my big mouth.
Were you wearing Spanx? By the way, she is the founder and owner of Spanx.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. I wasn't. But anyway, maybe someone like that, just to get some knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, there's definitely several people. Like at this point, I want to be like, I want to take Greta Gerwig to dinner too. And I want to be like, what is going on in your brain right now? Like, are you... I don't
think she's okay, but again, I think that's I think that's in a good way. She's not okay, but she's okay. Yeah.
Team Greta.
Number 2, would you like to be famous? In what way?
Yeah, because I want to act.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily I can't imagine that it's fun. Like, everybody having an opinion about everything you do, but I already feel that way now in my little spot in my community, that I feel like, especially going through a breakup, that I feel like everyone has an opinion of what you should be doing, how you should be healing, how you should be reacting to things. Don't love that. So I can imagine that wouldn't be fun, but I think it'd be easier with a little bit of money.
Yes, agree.
In healthcare.
Yeah.
I would love healthcare.
Ooh la la. I wouldn't have any problem being well known. I guess to me, the saying that you're well known versus being famous are different, and for some reason for me when I think about it. So I would, if I were well known in a corner of the world for doing a certain thing, I don't know, personality hire podcast,
There we go.
If I was well known amongst a group of people, that would be different, I think, for me, as opposed to being international man of mystery.
Superstar. Yeah.
So I think I could handle it now in my life, but had I been younger and got catapulted to fame for whatever reason, falling over on stage and Fiddler on the Roof, I wouldn't have handled it. But yeah.
Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? Why?
I think if it's to make an appointment or something, I just say, what's my goal? I think that's what I do that before every phone call. What is the goal of this call? What am I supposed to be walking away from? If it's with a friend, no, I'll call you just because I said the wind blew and I need to tell you something.
I'm going to call Jessi and I'm going to okay, hey, Jessi, this is me. It's Hailey. What are you doing today? Oh, that sounds lovely.
Or you're God, no, that's so stupid. Okay.
Wait.
Hey, Hailey, it's me, Jessi. God, idiot.
No, that's
she knows who it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just let it roll.
I let it roll, and sometimes I should not let it roll, but here we are. Okay, but what would constitute as a perfect day for you?
Oh gosh. Okay, number 1, it's going to start with a workout. My life is so much better and I'm a better person if I can get a morning workout in. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to put my gear on immediately when my feet hit the floor, and I'm going to go work out. That's the top. Then after that, I'm going to come home. I'm going to take a lovely shower. I'm going to drink a lovely coffee. And then after that, I'm going to go shopping for a minute. Then I'm going to get a cocktail in the middle of the day. I'm going to get a cocktail and I'm going to see where it takes me. And I like to walk. Maybe I'm in a new city, my perfect day. And I'm going to walk the new city. I'm going to see what the vibes are. I'm going to meet the people. And then and then part of my perfect day is also before I go out, the getting ready to go out is the most sacred fun time.
Oh my gosh, it's the best.
So part of my perfect day is going to be, I'm going to be getting ready with music, with my favorite products, with no time frame really in mind, but I'm going to be trying to look fire. And
He's going to look fire.
Thank you so much. I don't really know.
No, it's so underrated, the getting ready time. Mm-hmm. When I have an audition, last night I had an audition, and then, it's just, I sometimes when I have busy weeks, I get a little bit a little upset that I have to do full hair and makeup for an audition at 10 p.m. at night.
Well, I was gonna say you get it's frustrating because your day is so jam packed.
Yeah.
Hailey works harder than anyone that I know, and her day is fully jam packed, and she has to pivot a lot during her day to different types of work. And so by the time she gets home at the end of the day, not only is her tank depleted, but she oftentimes has just been teaching a spin class, and so when she comes in, she didn't want to get unsweaty ready to get full on ready. Like, are you kidding me?
No, it's the most idiotic thing I've ever done, but I stay doing it. But the part about auditions that I love prepping, like the sacred time for me, is getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some actors who are like, I like to get in the mood of this character. I'm like, no, I'm being me, doing me, because that's what I need to bring to this audition is me. And I need to center myself. And there's no better way of doing that than blending in a little concealer on your face.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's so underrated.
Wait, what's your perfect day though?
It would start the night before with a good 8.5 hours of sleep. I never get 8 hours of sleep, let alone 8.5. If I could get that, it would be ideal. That would be so good. That would start off my day so I could do a morning workout. I love a morning workout. And then I would come back. I'd get, like 24 grams. I don't know how many grams of protein I need. I try to get at least 30 grams of protein in my breakfast so that I do not need to think about eating for a long time. I can just have a Bev, like a cool, like maybe a Celsius. I love Celsius. Sponsor me. Or a coffee, like a fun coffee drink. And then I would spend, like, I would have, like, something to do with a friend. Like, either going shopping. Like, it doesn't matter what me and my friend are doing. We could just go walking. We could do anything. But it'd be with a friend. And then, like, I just think there would be no hard plans.
No. I like a silly goose day.
I kind of think of, like, the days, like, when we were in LA or Boston where we just, like, had a silly goose day. Do you remember that one day we went to the firefighter bar and
that
we, like,
was my
recited... Like
that is a top silly goose day.
The Zoom.
Yeah. Zoom is Zoom. Send it to Zoom. Email.
Send it to Zoom.
Or Zmail.
Send it to Zoom.
Boston, Mass. 02134. Send it to Zoom.
And we were in Boston, Mass.
We were in Boston, Mass.
And I loved that. I loved walking around Boston, Mass. Sending it to Zoom.
Back to Boston, Mass.
Having a fat cocktail.
Fat cocktail. But honestly, they were there.
Oh my gosh.
The PH.
Yeah. Send it to Zoom. But that's my perfect day.
Yeah, same. Silly
and then,
goose
like,
days.
Going to watch the 1975.
Cash. But yes.
Cash.
For sure.
Sure. Or going to a nice dinner. Like, again, in LA. I loved when we would go up to the rooftop, have a nice cocktail, wait 8 hours for an Uber, and then go to Olivetta and have the best meal ever and have a French man pretend he's hooking us the heck up.
No.
And really, he's just stealing our seats.
No. Silly goose days.
That's fun.
They're great.
When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else? 2 seconds ago, send it to Zoom.
Yeah. Nonstop for me.
Nonstop. I'm always, when I'm alone, I stay singing.
I also don't have any, I'll sing to anyone. I'll sing to anyone that is around. I don't have anything like, I have no inhibitions when it comes to opening my gob.
No. And unfortunately, I'm singing like Miss Rachel songs because they're stuck in my head from kids. Like, I'm like, going to the beach. We're going to the beach.
Sunny day. Da, da, da,
or like,
da, da.
icky, sticky, 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 purple.
Yeah,
like,
you're hidden.
But I'll remix them and I'll make
Ooh.
them like for Mama. Like, I'll sing a song for her.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah. If you were to If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either your mind or body of a 30-year-old, wow, for the last 36, wait, hello?
For the last 60 years of your life, which would you want? To the body of a 30-year-old or the mind of a 30-year-old?
The body. Here's why. I don't give a rip at that age. I don't want to know nothing at that age. I want to be Pookie looking fire and I want to be chilling. Because I think my mind would be better as a 90. I would have more info, right?
I guess so. I think that I'd go for the mind, because if I knew my mind was going to stay sharp, it might be more incentive for me to keep my body in a healthy state.
Okay. I thought it meant like you keep. Guys, I'm really tired.
Also, the thought of you being 90 years old looking like Benjamin Button is so disturbing. Like,
it is.
That's so disturbing.
But also, I thought that it meant you were like keeping everything, like all the knowledge. You were just 30. You would not gain any more knowledge.
No, I think your mind, I think you're still at risk for like those things that happen with age.
Okay,
like how
never mind. Then,
memory loss, things like that.
I thought it was either stop going. Like, I didn't think your mind continued to grow. So I would want that.
Yeah.
I literally thought you could have one or the other.
You said, I'm going to be in my bikini. I'll be shaking that ass.
On a yacht.
In their assisted living community.
Heck yes. Do you have a secret hunch? Oh my gosh. About how you will die?
Oh my God.
We didn't screen these questions.
Oh my God. A secret hunch about how you will die.
Well, see, I'm a woman, so yeah, I do. I have a secret hunch that a man is going to kill me.
I think
I love that it's a secret hunch.
Yeah. No, I don't have a hunch. Do I have fears around the way that I will die? Yes. For sure.
Yeah.
I like going suddenly when I'm young and have a family that I'm leaving behind. Like, that is a fear about being dead. But also, you can't control your death, so it's not something that I worry about like constantly. But I don't know if I have a hunch. I mean,
I would be very concerned if you had a hunch.
I mean, it could be anything. And I'm not saying that to be like,
no, it really could.
Being scared about it. I'm like, but for me personally at this time, it could be anything.
It could be anything.
It could really, surprise me. I don't want to be,
don't surprise us.
Not right now.
No. Let's give it a while.
It's not my will.
No.
So we're just going to let it lie. Do you have a secret hunch?
A man killing me. I don't know.
Hailey.
No, it's fear.
Okay.
That's what I mean. I was just.
Then
I don't actually have
No.
any
Then if
idea.
that's the hunch, we got to go back to the previous question. You do got to keep your body at a 30-year-old because you got to be ready to fight.
I got to be ready to karate.
Fight.
Name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. Jessi and I both are silly goofballs.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're silly goofballs. We also believe in more for our lives. I think a lot of people, and I do have friends who are like, no, this is just the way it is. Like, deep, which is fine. But that's just not how me and Jessi are. And then another thing, we both.
I think you and I, like you're saying, I agree that we both are same sense of humor, and we enjoy doing things that are like, we're not afraid to find childish things fun, or we're not afraid to be goofy and silly. We don't have anything that like holds us back in that regard, and we don't really care what other people think about us. And I do also agree that we do have ambition. We're very ambitious, and we don't think that our ambitions are silly. That is actually something we take quite seriously in our lives, and we think that our ambitions, no matter how lofty they may seem, we fully believe that they could happen,
and they're for us,
and that it can happen to us, and if you work hard for it, all that good stuff. And then I also think that you and I have very little patience for bullshit.
Oh my gosh.
And not bullshit in the sense of like where my friend is telling me something that happened to them. Like, I don't have time for that. I mean bullshit, like negativity. I think that's what I mean. Negativity. No, I think I think you might feel the same way.
Oh, absolutely. No patience for that. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Wait, you missed number 9.
Oh, did I?
For what in your life do you feel most grateful?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, Jessi, you. I'm very
friendship.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh,
I literally, I've said this on the podcast before, but I am so incredibly grateful for the relationships I have in my life. I also said relationships.
Relations. But Pitbull's gonna steal that.
But I do. I am so grateful for them. Obviously, this year has been crazy, and I'm coming up on the other side of things where it does feel like, how lucky am I? And like I'm climbing up the mountain now instead of in the valley.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely climbing now. And it feels as if I'm the luckiest girl in the world because I realize how many different relationships I have in my life that are so deep and meaningful and intentional. And I couldn't be more thankful for my friendships.
Copy paste. I agree. I feel the same.
It's so good.
Sorry. Okay. Now, if you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Nothing.
Golly. Yeah. Nothing. My parents did the best they could, and I had an excellent childhood.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change anything. And I'm not saying that to like have anybody else hear that and be like, oh, well, good for you, charmed life, because I understand.
No,
but
yeah, I didn't have a charmed life.
I
mean,
think
there were
that
things,
you can still.
but I think those things give me power now.
Yeah.
You know, like my mom and me and my mom have talked about this before, and we're not shy about sharing this with others, but my mom struggled with alcohol and drug abuse throughout my childhood, but it really helped me to have empathy for addiction, for all of the things that come along with addiction, because addiction comes from other things like different mental health issues. And I'm so grateful for that. I really am. I think it's so cool.
And I just genuinely had parents who were
the best. Yeah. It's so special. Wow. Number 11, we're not going to do.
Oh, but we'll say it. Take 4 minutes and tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible. We're in the middle of it, and you already know it.
Also, y'all know. Y'all know everything about us. Unfortunately, I can't keep my mouth shut.
4 minutes? Like, are you absolutely joking me? What is this?
Your life story?
Am I at a comedy club? Are you going to blink the light at me for 4? No. I need more time than that. I need a 10-minute set for that. Give me a break.
If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? Oh my gosh. Probably to chill the heck out. I have no chill. I do have chill. That's not true.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I would have like the ability to be like less hard on myself and let my anxiety
find some peace.
Like just how do you people not worry? Like how do you not do that? And maybe you do worry, but the skill I'd want to acquire is how do I put that somewhere where it still allows me to be a productive adult?
Yeah, I'm really working on trying to remember that my feelings or like the thoughts that I'm having aren't facts necessarily. Yeah. They're just feelings, and not trying to shove them away. I think a lot of people were raised this way, but to ignore those feelings or to push them away and say, no, those are dirty, they're wrong, like they're not cool, whatever. I know, why did I say dirty?
Dirty.
I mean, yeah. I didn't mean dirty. Sherry. I meant like, they're bad thoughts to have, but to instead be able to move through those thoughts and feelings instead of
going over, around.
Yes.
Down, under.
Can't go over it. Can't go under it. We gotta go through it.
Yes.
Dab.
If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? I want to know how I'm dying, baby. How am I? Just kidding. I don't want to know that.
I feel like I know too much.
I don't. I think I'd want to know how people in my life who have gone through a difficult time or are going through a difficult time, or people in my life that aren't on the earth any longer, I'd want to know that how it shakes out or how they are, or just honestly anything to assure me that there's happiness for other people in my life. I personally don't want to know anything about my future. Yeah. I really don't. I used to be really into it, needing answers and needing like guidance on next steps or whatever. And I'm just not that way anymore. Now I'd like to know, and I wouldn't tell the people in my life if I asked about, no, I wouldn't tell them, but I would just wanted to, because then I guess in some way I would feel like if the answer that I got wasn't what
ideal,
then I would maybe be like, okay, how can I help? How can I help get it to a better way? I see. But that's meddling, and that's not healthy either.
And also because like there are things that you can't help with.
No, and you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So I need to take my meddling ass and sit down.
So I don't think I want the crystal ball. I'm going to be honest. I like sometimes me and my friend Katie, shout out to Katie Carpenter. we've been doing this since we've met each other, but she has this like little necklace test that it like tells you like you like put the necklace over your wrist or something. It tells you how many kids you're gonna have, and then if it shakes, if it goes forwards and backwards, it'll tell you like boy or girl. Or
I was
whatever.
gonna say, did she do that for the gender? Did she do the necklace over her tummy to tell the gender?
I know she did. I can't tell you if it was right or wrong because I'm totally blanking on that right now. But I do know that we've done that before, and I totally forgot what mine said. But I also was like, how does this necklace know?
I don't know. It might.
I don't know.
Ask our friend.
But I
ask
think
our friend
the only
Genesis.
thing. It's like, can I have kids? Like
our friend Genesis has a really great podcast.
Oh yes,
called Campfire Creeps.
Yes, I almost said something else.
And she discusses and spooky things and talks about things like that. So anyway, if that interests you, like this sort of like weird urban legendy type things, leggy. She talks about it, and her podcast is super great. So anyway, Campfire Creeps. Love Genesis.
Yes. She's a girl.
Is there anything that you haven't dreamed of doing for a long time? Wait, what? That you haven't? Is there anything that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? Oh my God. They're like, why'd you stop dreaming, Jess? Why'd you give up on yourself? Why'd you give up on your dreams?
This is so funny. I'm so sorry, guys.
Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it?
No, I'm literally pursuing every single dream I've ever had. And it's, guys, I can tell you why people haven't done it.
Yeah.
Why people wouldn't do it. It's trenches out here. We are trenches. Trench McGee in a trench coat. I'm
definitely I've always had a desire to perform and dreams of being a performer in some way. And I think now I kind of dipped a toe in it, and then I got scared a little bit. And I think now but I pursued many dreams in my life. Like this isn't the only dream. I have accomplished many dreams in my life, but the performance dream is something that's like always been an undertone in my life that I feel like right now I'm starting to do more of that with comedy and with our podcast and like just dreaming up different ways to do that. So yes, I haven't done it because I was scared or because I was afraid of what my family might think or things like that. But I feel like now I'm actually in a place where I can pursue things that maybe I want to. So,
and I love that. I think, by the way, if you're listening to this and you're someone who like wants to go try something, go do it. Life is so short. Just do it. Really. Like, what's the worst that could happen? You're going to fail. Oh, great. You're going to fail doing the stuff you don't want to do too. You will. Like, when I talk to people who are unhappy with their jobs and staying in their jobs, I'm so confused because I'm like, you're already failing because you're unhappy. Unless you don't find being happy, success.
Fear is literally petrifying and keeps people in place and things like that. But it's so easy to get in that way. So
it is. I just want to encourage everybody to like, life is short. Please go after the thing, whatever it is. Just do a little bit of it. Just try. What's the greatest accomplishment of your life?
I mean, obvious answer is my kid, like for sure. Like she is by far and away the greatest accomplishment of anything I've ever done. But it feels yucky to say that because she is her own person, and I am just, the accomplishment is not who she is. That's her accomplishment. That's not mine. Just the accomplishment of genuinely like getting her alive to this point. And I don't mean that in a funny way. I mean like genuinely like I survived. Being a new parent is crazy because you think about it all the time. Like, what am I going to mess up and put her in a box and forget I left her there? I don't know, whatever. Like,
no, it's a lot.
But that's an accomplishment, just like raising her in some ways, not who she is. Do you know what I'm saying by that? Like, she's her own person, and that's not my accomplishment.
She is also a very special human. And so I would definitely say that is quite the accomplishment.
And I think also too, just maintaining a good, healthy relationship with my family, like my immediate family, and building a family with my husband and keeping a relationship with his family. Like, I think that's a pretty hell of an accomplishment too.
No, it's a lot of effort.
Yeah. What's yours?
Be a human and have family. Like, it's a lot of relational stuff. I think I mean, I feel like I'm at this point in my life where I'm just really growing. And I think that's an accomplishment in itself. Just not giving up, because there's been so many points in the past, I don't know, like 7 years, I don't know, a long time, almost 10 years, I think, that I feel like I could have just played it safe, and I have not at all. And I think that's my greatest accomplishment as now. Hello.
As now.
It's my greatest accomplishment.
Not giving up. Yeah.
But it is.
And staying true to yourself, I think, is an accomplishment that I admire in you, for sure.
That's what I feel like is my greatest accomplishment as of now. Big smiles. What do you value most in friendship?
Loyalty and honesty.
Yeah.
And the ability to not just I need the ability of someone in my relationships and my friendships to know that if we have a rough patch, I might pull back, or if I'm having a rough patch in my life, I really value a friend that lets me fade into the background for a while and lets me figure my stuff out on my own, and then lets me come back in when I'm ready. Yeah. And that's not for everybody. I fully understand that a lot of people are going to be like, no, I can't grant you you're my friend. I need you when I need you, or I need you to be present all the time, whatever.
Not giving you grace to have your moment.
And that's valid. That is super valid. So when I find a friend who lets me do that, and I do have a core group that let me kind of go away, go radio silent when I need to figure stuff out, and then pop back up when I'm ready. That to me is wow. That when I have a friend that I've found that lets me do that, I'm like, you are the real deal. Yeah. You get me, and I'm so appreciative of that.
That becomes family. Yeah. And I totally agree with that. I think for me it's really the just having your back sort of thing. I think a lot of people get confused with friendship, and they think it's just the time you spend, or it's the people you hang around. And I think really true friendship is someone becoming your family and having your back. Yeah. And supporting you. And again, this year I was really able to see the strength in some of my friendships. And honestly, I was able to see some of the weaknesses in some of my friendships, to see how people reacted with my decisions that I was making for myself, as if, I really just don't think it's that cool of a friend to act like your decisions for your own life are going to affect them. But you'd be surprised how many people believe that,
or just think that they need to control your decisions. And you're like, what, to your point, what about what I'm deciding to do with myself is harming you, outside of it's just not a decision that you agree with? Yeah. Let it go.
Let it go. Let me be. Let me live.
Let me live.
Oh my God, man. What's your most treasured memory? I feel like I can't just choose one, but I would say I have this one memory, and this is it wasn't that long ago. It was a few years ago. Maybe it was last year. But my dad noticed my pressure and my air pressure in my tires was getting low. And we were in Kentucky, in Lexington, visiting my brother. And he told me, he was like, we gotta fix it. We gotta pump up your air. So I got an air pump in my car. And I'm like, Dad, I gotta hit the road. I have 7.5 hour drive. So my dad plugs in his air whatever thing and starts pumping up my tire. My tire immediately drops flat. And something failed in the little I don't know what that thing.
Sensor?
Not the sensor, but where you plug in the air. Oh. That part, the needle broke or something. Okay. My dad whipped out, he was like, hold on, we'll figure this out. My dad whipped out a paper clip, and he was able to MacGyver it back open and fix it so we could fill my tire back up. Groot. Yeah. And guess what? That paper clip is over there. It's on my coffee table. I'll never
thought you were gonna be like, guess what? That paperclip is in the Smithsonian now.
No, it's over there. I will keep that paperclip for the rest of my life. I haven't unbent it from the shape that it's in, because
it symbolizes not giving up.
No, my dad is just he is just the best man on earth. And especially in this past year when I'm like now making new decisions and like what kind of partner I'm going to welcome into my life. And I'll tell you what, there were some things before that I think that I convinced myself I could live without. And my dad just shows me every day with his love for me that I'm not going to be able to like marry anyone who's less than what my dad gives me. So Paul Mescal, if you're listening,
you need to call Groot.
You need to call Groot and need to get your act together because my dad is the best dad. Sorry to all the other dads. And I'm going to cry right now about a paperclip that I've kept for 2 years. Oh, and it's on my coffee table.
That is extremely sweet and cool.
It's just so cool.
And that's a very Groot story.
Yeah.
For your dad to be like, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah,
and he did.
Freaking out because I'm like, I had an audition. I needed to get back to shit.
To shit too. I had to get back to shit. I had to fill shelf tape.
I was going to say film and tape.
Shelf tape.
And something else. Like, I don't know. To ship.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. What's yours?
I can't think of a specific one right now, but I do think that anything that my mom passed away in 2018 and she had the most unique and specific laugh and very just like to her own laugh. Like no one will ever replicate it. There's never going to be another laugh that sounds like it, like as long as everyone is on the earth. But I remember it so vividly and clearly, and I can still hear it and it still rings in my head all the time. And I just like, I never want to forget it. I love that. Never want to forget because I lived my life to make her laugh, like full on. Everything I did day to day was just to make my mom laugh because it was just the best. So that is like a very treasured memory for me. Just the sound of her laughter and then the face that she would make. And then me like trying to go even harder to make her keep laughing harder. And then just like anything I could do. Like that is like one of my most treasured memories for sure.
I love that.
Oh my God. Okay. So we're going to follow that up with the next question. What's your most terrible memory? I don't like get real. Wow. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
today.
We're not going to bring negativity. No. Just know that it happened this year.
God. And also just like think to the last answer I just gave and then think about what my terrible memory might be. Okay. You know, like let's just get freaking real, man. Like get off it.
Get off.
Get a grip.
If you knew that in 1 year you would if you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you're living and why?
Yeah, probably for sure. But I'd probably try. I don't know. Yes,
shake a little bit more tail. I pray a lot more, which I pray every night. But I pray like
pray even more.
I pray even more than that. That's not enough. I need to be praying throughout the day. Honestly, I would chill out. And I would really let my freak flag fly. I know we all collectively think I let a lot of my freak fly.
You do not.
But there's more, honey.
You have a professional facing freak flag that you let fly out.
Yeah, but I have more. Yeah. I have more where that came from, Hunter. And I'll bring it out.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't change anything necessarily, but I would definitely maybe like I'd live louder. I'd live in full color. You know what I'm saying? Would you laugh
louder?
I would live a little louder. I might laugh a little louder. And I would love loud and hard. So that's what I would do.
This is a comedy pod, not a smut pod. What does friendship mean to you? Everything. Truly everything. I don't know what kind of question that is.
Out my name and you know wherever I am. I think we're going to get copyright.
I come running.
Everything, yeah.
Everything. That's a silly question.
That's the basis for my life. It's the basis
literally
for
answered 80 questions
every relationship I have. The basis is on a friendship.
Yes.
And my friendship means to me, I genuinely try to every day, every year, every decade that passes to become a better friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So important. What roles do you love and what roles do love and affection play in your life?
I told this to my husband the other day. He is a very physical touch, love language person, and I am not. And so I probably need to get better about that for him. Like the man deserves a hug every now and again, you know?
What are your love languages?
I have no idea.
I think mine are all of them.
I think mine is acts of service.
Yours is definitely acts of service. Or that's one of them at least.
Yeah. I think mine is like, if you take something off my plate, that is, I'm like, wow.
Is that also how you give? I feel that's not true, because like I feel like you give words of affirmation and you do acts of service.
I think I think I give with my words maybe more. Like I think that's something that I'm very free with. Like I'm very free with.
You pump people
with
up.
Yeah, and also like to let somebody know how much they mean to me. Like I'm very free with that, which I know is not some people. It's hard for them to use their words to articulate how meaningful somebody else is to them, and that's not difficult for me. So maybe it's that.
Yeah.
What are you? What are you?
I don't know. I feel like I used to be a gift giver, and I still kind of.
You are a gift giver. Oh, you definitely are. And you're thoughtful. You're extremely thoughtful with your gifts.
But I also feel like I'm words of affirmation. Like I give them.
You do.
But to receive, I don't know. Like I know this sounds so bad, but like I like all of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one rings higher for me. I know I have learned that like words of affirmation are good for me.
Yeah.
Like good to receive. But also acts of service like mean a lot to me too. Like if someone again takes things off my plate, I'm like, man, you're everything. So I think it's depending on where you are in life. Can they change?
Oh,
I don't know
for sure.
rules.
Oh, I definitely think they can change. Yeah.
Alternate sharing something you consider a positive care. I do
we
need
already,
to get a grip.
We've already also done this. I do cherish you. You know, I do
There's
cherish you.
like a billion things I love about you.
So
the list goes on.
Yeah.
How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most people's?
Well, again, we've been through this one. You know, my family was close and warm.
Yeah,
and
my mom was an alcoholic.
So
I'm kidding, guys.
Your family was
supposed to be comedy.
So your family was wet and cold.
No,
I'm just kidding.
My family was very warm. I love my parents. I just cried about my dad using
I'm like,
a
we literally
on my tire.
Groot is our mascot. I don't know what else to say. Like
Groot is the official mascot of the SEC and
this podcast.
And this podcast.
Yep.
How do you feel?
How about feeling a relationship with your mother? See
Stop
above.
asking people
Literally
this.
see above.
Like, we're going to talk about it.
That is like my party trick though. Sometimes people are like, so where's your mom live? What mom? What mom? She's dead. Okay. Also, it's not a party trick, and I'm not making light of it. You just recently lost your mother. Honestly, if you've lost a parent recently, reach out to me. DM me on Instagram. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Reach out to me if you need to talk to somebody about it, because it's not that tight. So moving on.
Make 3 true we statements each. For instance, we are both in this room feeling.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, this is funny. We statements. Okay.
We both need a grip.
We both need to get a firm grip
on reality.
We are both in this room feeling
exhausted
and
excited. I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
No, we are both feeling
hopeful
and scared.
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Complete the sentence. I wish I had someone with whom. Why with whom?
Whom?
Guys, I'm so sorry. If I was on a date and a guy was like, so can I ask you some questions? And he said, complete the sentence. I wish I had someone with whom. And I would say, I'm going to stop you right there, big guy. Whom? Because he's going to be a big guy because I like him tall. But like, whom?
And if you got to say whom, it better end with us. Hummus. You better be bringing the pita out, baby. With whom I could share a big plate of hummus. That's what I'm going to complete this sentence.
I'm not okay.
Thank you.
That's so funny. I'm okay. I wish I had someone with whom
hummus
I could share a billion gajillion laughters with.
Same.
Laughs with.
Let's just
Maybe
gigs.
Not laughters.
Let's get a giggle going. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share.
I hope.
Please share what would be important for him or her to know. What you see is what you get, and I can't help it. Yeah. Sorry.
I think it's really important for people to know I don't have a grip. So get over it.
Everyone knows now.
Yeah.
And they're going to know by the time they meet you.
Yeah. I mean, you know what's scary? Is that I say a lot to this mic, and everybody knows now. Like, you have access to that information.
But it was going to come out sooner or later. Let's just be upfront about it.
It was. You could just ask me in public, too. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time.
I don't want to be honest.
Was I lying before?
I don't feel like being honest right now. Let's skip that one. I'm just going to lie.
Yeah, we would lie. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment of your life.
Everything, every day.
Guys, remember I peed my pants at Six Flags when I was 16? I also like
that we're getting angry at these questions as if somebody asked us. Like, we're in like a class setting and someone raised their hand and asked us, and we're like, come on, guys, this is in the notes. Guys, this was literally on the study guide. When in reality, we found these questions from a random psychologist and we're getting mad at him. Like, hello? Did you study before you asked us these? No?
Read a book.
Read a book.
When did you last cry in front of another person or by yourself? Well, that's hilarious.
I do be crying. I cried yesterday.
I cried this morning because I was watching a TikTok about, like, it was like, how do you know if God's real? He was one of those. Yep. And it was a story about this woman. She was a bartender at a bar, and obviously, and this man used to come in every day, and he was a Vietnam veteran and a truck driver, and he never had any family, and all of his family passed away. Anyway, after she stopped bartending there, because she was in college at the time, she kept in contact with him, and then at one point, she hadn't heard from him in 3 weeks, and it was the longest time that she hadn't heard from him. And so she went to the bar. He wasn't there. She went to this Mexican restaurant he frequented. He wasn't there, and they hadn't seen him. She went to his apartment. She saw that the papers were stacked up, and she got, like, really, scared. And she was like, I have no way of contacting him besides calling him, and his phone was off at this point. And then one day, the bar called her, like a day later, after she went to his apartment, and the bartender who answered found out that this random man called and was like, hey, I'm calling for this person, the bartender who had a relationship, and basically just let her know that he had passed away, and this is what time the service is at. And so she goes to the service, and she is the only one who shows up. And I'm literally like, I'm going to start crying right now. But the place, he's getting, like, buried in a national cemetery, like, for veterans. Mm-hmm. He gets buried, like, a few plots away from her grandpa. And she was the only one. And so, like, to this day, she doesn't know who called the bar to let her know. But she just knows, like, that was an angel. Because, like, why didn't that guy go to the funeral? I don't know. But she was the only one who showed up.
I'm so sorry. What was the question we were answering?
When's the last time you cried?
Oh, when's the last time you cried? Okay, morning. I forgot. That is intense.
It was this morning. But, like, how beautiful that they had that relationship. Mm-hmm. I love that he had that relationship at the end of his life. Mm-hmm. That he lived so long without having, like, family members. And then she was his family.
Family doesn't have to be blood.
And it's just, that's special. And it just made me cry. Anyway, the last time I cried in front of another person was just now when I retold the story.
I don't know.
I'm not afraid to cry, guys.
I don't like to cry just because it's just just a big deal. It's just a lot. So, but I do it. I mean, pick a time, pick a place. I'll cry. I'm not worried about it. Tell them, partner, I already like you. You know I like you. Yes,
it's like tell your partner what you like about him. Guys, we've been over this. I'm mad at the study guide.
What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
Ooh. Well, I think
about me personally, nothing. Like, if you want to joke about something that has to do with me, the way I look, the way I talk, the way I act, anything, my opinion, I don't care. Joke about me.
Yeah.
But if you
also be ready for what's going to happen next to you.
A tongue lashing.
Yeah.
But if you say anything about anyone I care about, if you say anything, and I will pull all of the proof that I get crazy on this. If you say anything that makes anyone in my life feel uncomfortable about who they are, if you even joke about, no, absolutely, you're done. You are done.
You're done for.
You are done.
And I would believe Jessi. Jessi is actually, like, she's a bear.
I'm scary.
She's scary.
Only if you deserve it. I'm not trying to be out in here being rude to people just for the sake of it. But people have lost their minds. People just say anything to anyone now and any time about anything, and they've lost their minds. There's no decorum. There's no manners.
No.
And I'm tired of it.
People really let their tongue run wild in their opinions of other people, which I think is
there
crazy.
anything that's too serious to be joked about for you?
I agree with that. Like, if you're making fun of someone in like a disparaging way and they're my people, I'll come for you.
Hard.
And I will wonder, like, what happened to your brain that day? Like, what's wrong with you? I'd be more concerned for you because you have to live with yourself and you would say something like that about someone. I don't know. I think there's probably a lot that I steer away from personally joking about because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And we'll leave that there. If you were to, why are we dying?
Oh my God. If you were
to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet? I've told everything they need to know. That's one thing about me. I'm not holding back. Again, I've been on this mic yapping professionally. I will tell you how I feel. There are sometimes that I take a moment to understand the way I'm feeling and like what's the best way to communicate those feelings so that you could receive that information. But I'm going to tell you. Yeah.
And that is my biggest thing. Everyone that is close to me or that I actually love or whatever, they know. And I've told them not just by saying, oh, they know, in a way where it's like they understand. It's unspoken. No, it's all spoken. Yeah. And I've told them in different points, in different ways. I will continue to. That is the only flex I have, is that people in my life know how I feel
about them. Mm-hmm. Yep. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make one final dash to save one item. What would it be and why?
I have a black file box that I keep special notes and trinkets and treasures and passports and social security cards, and don't come to my house and find it, please. But it's all my trinkets. Yeah. They're special for that exact reason. I would go to that box and I'd put it under my little arm and I'd run to the hills.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't really have too many, I have like special things. I honestly have a safe, but it's fireproof. So I just leave that there so it could do its thing.
Burn up, baby.
Yeah. Let's see if it works.
Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing? I don't want to. I'm going to skip.
I'm so sorry. If we're on a first date or a several date,
if this is a Scantron, how many can I skip before I fail? Because I'm not doing this one.
No.
Count me out.
Don't ask me that.
Count me out. I'm out of this one.
If anyone asked me that, I'd literally remove myself from the table.
No thanks.
I'd swan dive out of my chair.
Man, I'd swan dive out of my chair onto the hardwood floor.
Yes. I'd make a scene. I'm sorry, man. Were you okay? No. Tell him what you just asked me.
And then you'd butterfly stroke on the hardwood floor out the door. Sorry, breaststroke.
Because I want my legs doing that thing behind me.
You know what? This is totally unrelated, but I wanted to tell you this.
Tell me.
I went to go work out the other day.
Oh, no.
On Monday, I think. I don't know, whatever. And I looked in the mirror and we were doing a side squat situation where your legs are out in horse pose, for yoga, but you're doing a squat with a weight. Anyway, I looked into the mirror and I was shocked. It looked like I had a frog leg. Have you ever seen a frog leg if it's all fried up?
Yes.
I looked at my leg and I was like, holy crap. That's what a frog leg looks like on a plate. Anyway,
and that's what my legs would look behind me.
Exactly. That's what my legs exactly
on the hardwood floor out of that restaurant. After this man has just asked me, whose death would you find most disturbing and why? Pew! Swan dive.
Yeah.
Splat. Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you've chosen. Okay, Jessi, you know all my problems.
Yeah, my problem right now is my skin is really dry, and I've been trying a lot of different things. I've been slugging, but sometimes it makes my skin feel congested. Oh, so anyway, that's my personal problem. Just keep me updated. I just went and bought some new products yesterday. We're going to keep trying and cycling through some things, but it's just wintertime. My skin is dry. That's my personal problem.
My personal problem, you know it. I just have way too much on my plate.
Yeah, you do.
I have way too much on my plate. I need to make some eliminations. Watch out, everybody in my life. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. I need to make an elimination of like events that I'm putting on my plate.
Yeah.
And maybe things that I'm doing. But other than that, you know, you know all my problems, and you've told me how you felt about all of them.
If you got a problem,
I'll solve it.
check out the
Mike. No, I don't know what it says.
I think check out the hook
Check out the hook.
while the DJ revolves it.
Ice, ice, baby. Well, that's all we got.
That's it. That was the last one. That was it.
And I hope you're as traumatized as we are from it.
Let's all have a happy and full of life rest of this week.
It's going to be great.
Emphasis on being alive, you know?
Yeah.
Those questions are really bringing it to a place. But emphasis on being alive.
Feeling very thankful. Feeling very thankful, honestly. Thankful for my legs, my body, my mind, my soul. 30-year-old body, my 90-year-old body.
Your 30-year-old mind.
Gosh.
All right.
Please rate, review, subscribe, all of those things. And also we're on YouTube now. So
and also shout out to I'm not even kidding. Shout out to all of our listeners in Germany. Shout out to all of our listeners in Australia. Shout out to all of our listeners in Singapore, because
Was ist los?
we're so thankful to have you.
Yeah. We're so excited.
Guten Tag.
Yeah. Wait, what's the Dankeschön?
There you go.
Dankeschön.
There you go. Thank you.
We love y'all.
Yeah.
And we're on YouTube now, so go ahead, go give us several loops on YouTube.
A loop. Give us a loop. Or subscribe, really. That would be great.
Yeah, subscribe. We love you, and we hope you have an awesome week, and you're not asking any of these questions on any dates you go on.
Yeah, and if you are ever in a room with us where they ask us this question and you didn't study the notes, I'm not answering.
We're going to get frustrated.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer
I peed my pants at Six Flags. You guys remember this?
I fell on the floor as the rabbi and fiddler on the roof. That was my most embarrassing moment.
And your brother laughed really loud. Luke.
All right.
All right, Janine, take us home, sis.